Welcome to the Frugal Frau, also known as Tom and Sukey's workshop. And today we're going to show you how to make a beautiful and simple chest like this. Or I should say it's a basic chest made out of scrapped wood. And as you can see, we decided to make it pretty in the front. So there are inexpensive ways to pretty up a chest with painting and with carving. And so that's what we did here. The video is simply an overview of how we made this quickly each step, and it's not very detailed. It's just to build along, and we hope you enjoy that. So before we get started, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you have suggestions for future videos, please put those in the comments too. Thank you very much. Okay, I have my completed design here, and I've just laid it on the surface or front surface of the marriage chest. And we have a little dilemma. We have to figure out exactly how to do the outer frame and incorporate the carving so that this space is still below below this surface. So we haven't done one like this before, and I guess you'll just have to learn along with us because this is a new process for us.
Okay, this is going to be a little different for us. We're both going to be in the camera at the same time. Okay, now we have not done one quite like this before, though I at least have the institutional memory of working with somebody who knew how to do this right. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to select my stock, and it's going to be pine like the rest of it, but I'm going to make sure that each piece is carvable. So I'll take my time in prepping it. This is a couple of pieces, one of the pieces I've already prepped. So my basic frame will be two pieces that are the length of this from here to here, and from here to here, minus the relief for my lid trim. And then I'll have a piece that goes here, and in the middle,
and then here,
there.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just half lap them so that the wider pieces are the front, and get them all the same thickness. I'll thickness them before I do it. But then we can carve all of these pieces off the chest, and then inset them on the chest, and then all the details can be painted in the frame after the fact.
And we'll have to cut these outlines.
Yeah, that'll be done
last.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I'll cut these first before I carve this.
Yeah, you could do it that way.
Yeah, but I'll leave this line, I think. Obviously, because we won't cut into this piece. We don't want to.
Right, because this has to be higher than this surface.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the trim. And basically, the carving is just an extension of the trim into the interior panel section.
Okay.
Only this is all an applique on to the front of the chest, and we modeled that after some antiques we looked at online, and that seemed to be the way they did it back then. So we're just sort of making our faux antique here because we want it to look like something that came from, Middle Europe or Eastern Europe, and be very folksy. So hopefully that all works out. So we'll see, but we'll take you along the process.
So I had an off-camera epiphany right after we turned the camera off. And I'm looking at this again, and if my original idea were to play through, I'm going to be carving in these corners, which the carving is going to be quite deep here, because I have actually carved something very similar to this recently. And I would be carving into the half laps, which would be, to use the technical term, no bueno.
Yeah.
And that would really be a problem, especially right in here, here, and here. This is going to be some pretty delicate work right there to look at it. And these acorns, the hoods on these acorns are a little bit fussy to cut too, and the undersides of these leaves are a little bit fussy. So what I think I'm going to actually do is just actually do this in 7 pieces, and then applique them all individually. Yeah, it's 7. 1, 2, 3,
and then 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
And these, 4, 5, 6, and 7 aren't going to have any carving.
No, I'm just going to probably
just for a little bead to define the edge of the frame of the center section.
Yeah.
Which is not really a panel because all that center section is straight onto that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're just covering up
yes.
the bad quality of the wood. But these old ones, if they were painted like this one's going to be, didn't usually have very good wood anyway.
Yeah, so that was a big off-camera discussion about that. But then Tom said, well, we're not going to have to do a lap joint because, like he said, not going to work. No bueno.
Okay.
Right. So I think we figured this out.
All right, now on to the next part.
Thanks for your patience.
On to the part where we get the stock.